morning to you, boys and girls. It's Tuesday, the 28th of May 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom tour, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire on this Tuesday morning. Some of you might have said Monday at the top there. I changed the day on there a little bit too late for it to come up at the top of your little screens there, boys and girls. If you refresh the page, it will probably now say Tuesday, okay? But I think you have to refresh it first. I wish I could refresh myself, to be honest. I'm feeling a little bit down today. Not down as in the head, just a little bit tired. It's been pouring down with rain almost all morning. It's just literally stopped now. So there we are. I'm feeling a bit guilty because I haven't been swimming since last Thursday. And if you're someone who does exercise, whether it be swimming or gym or jogging, yeah, and if you go every day, you only need to miss one day and you feel incredibly guilty. Well, I haven't been since Thursday. I mean, I'm practically killing myself here, but commit suicide if I don't go later. So I must try and get down the swimming pool later and do a little bit of exercise. I do. I feel dreadfully guilty. Do you do that? Any of you lot go to the gym? I said, oh, no, I don't think you do you? Perhaps some of you should do. Either that or go on a diet, one of the two. Well, good morning to you. Who's with us today? Hello to Shania. Good morning, lovely Shania on the Isle of Wight. Adrian Richardson, nice and early this morning. Good morning to you. Mike Reese-Ponto. Hello. Diane Jebb. Roy Brownlow's there. Graham Kenny. Good morning, Graham Kenny Eads. Morning, Graham. Tommy Flynn in the house once again. Ray Reynolds, Pop Pickers. It's me again, the lovely Ray Reynolds, singing new songs last night at the karaoke. He did a Searchers medley. A Searchers medley, which was only actually about 3.5 minutes long. There's a couple of people in there who keep choosing very long songs, and I'm going to have to have a word with them. So there's a couple of songs in there that are like 8-9 minutes long, which is worth like 2 or 3 normal songs, and they put them in at the end. And if you get like to 10 to the end of the night, whether it be 11 o'clock on a Monday, this is the karaoke hosting is something I do as well, 10 to 11 or 10 to 12, and you put that last song, possibly Bat Out of Hell, or one of the Bon Jovi ones I think is very long, well, that's it. You can't get anyone else on. People get a bit upset. Oh, why did you put them on last? On the other hand, you know, you can't really tell that... You can't really tell... you can't say to someone, oh, no, that one's too long, unless they put it in at the end of the night, or it's got the time, and you look at the last song, maybe you've got 5 minutes left, and it might be, take Bat Out of Hell for example, right? Can't play that because that's going to go well over time, so I'll go to them and say, look, that won't fit in. We need to finish by 11 o'clock because we do have sound restrictions at Central Station, unfortunately. There was a little phone call of complaint last night, actually, from one of the neighbours who thought it was a little bit too loud. Usually the one across the road from there. And if they've got their if they've got their windows open, they can hear our noise, you know. And I was packing the car up last night. I was out quite quickly last night. And I did notice that the windows were open on this particular house, so that's probably why they could hear all the noise there. Morning, Adam the plumber. He's back from holiday. He's had a nice time on holiday and a nice birthday. 47 years old you are now. Someone asked him to get married as well, in which he said yes. I don't think anyone's ever asked me to get married. Never mind. It's not for everyone, is it? Not for everyone. Roy goes to a homemade gym. You don't need to spend money going to a gym, actually. I mean, you really don't. Walking is very good. Walking and swimming are probably the best things. Jogging can damage the knees. I used to go jogging. I loved it as well. You felt really good afterwards. I would jog through Bracknell Forest, actually. It was a lovely route that I took, a big circular route, which I built up to an hour of jogging, and then my knees started playing up after about 1.5 years, so I had to stop that. I did do a lot of... I always used to cycle everywhere as well, but again, that seemed to start affecting my knees again. I had a little problem with my knee at the weekend for about an hour, but it cleared itself up again. The things that make my knees give me problems are cycling and kneeling down and something else. What's the other thing? You know, if you're kneeling down, doing something like the garden or something like that, I get a pain in the knee. Cycling, there's something else as well, I can't remember. I think it's jogging, actually. Jogging, that's where it started. I was jogging one day and I suddenly got this pain in my knee, and it's never really righted itself. Well, I've been down the doctor's a couple of times and just give you pills. You know, don't you want to take a photo? No, not with an iPhone. Anyone bought a Hawaii iPhone yet? Never mind. Good morning to first, what's that? First last name taken, who says, I want Tommy. Do you? And what's Tommy like? Tommy who? I don't know who you meant. Tommy who? Tommy Hilfiger? The one that makes the T-shirts and all that? I don't know who you mean. Good morning to Tom Ryan this morning. Morning, Tom. Joanna's in the house. Good morning, Joanna. Citizen Smith. Morning, Joanna. All right, darling. Weird City wants to know, is that a new opening? No, that's the opening we use up here. There's a different opening, one for up in Lincolnshire and one for down in Berkshire. Possibly you haven't seen this one, but it's been there almost a year now, I would say. We've been using this particular opening up here. All right, my darling. Peter Lake, good morning to Peter, who says, how are you? Say hello to Danny and Bernadette and Archie King. So good morning to you lot. Welcoming you to our little programme. Yeah, Weird City. I always feel bad when I skip the gym. Yeah, I do. I feel dreadful. I feel dreadful. I will definitely go swimming after the show today, I tell you. Good morning to Maureen, joining us again. Maureen hasn't been mail. She's had a bit of a chest infection, but she returned triumphant to the karaoke last night and sung us a couple of songs, didn't you, Maureen? Good morning to you. Weird City goes to the Hilton Living Well for free. Do you really? Well, that's where I go in Bracknell. We don't have one up here, unfortunately, which is a great shame because if you belong to one, you belong to all of them. But unfortunately, there isn't a Living Well up here anywhere. So I kind of, I've got a membership at the Living Well, which is... In comparison to the places up here, it's expensive. £46 a month I pay for that. And for that I can go at any time. Up here in Lincolnshire, you can join for like £27 or £29 a month. It's a lot cheaper up here. But the trouble is, you know, I mean, what do? Do you join two? That's quite a lot of money. If I join two, that would be 49, 59... No, it's 46, 56, 66, 76, 75. That'd be £75 a month. Which, of course, those of you that belong perhaps to high-end gyms will know that that's not too bad to belong to a high-end gym. I've heard people paying over £100 a month belonging to gyms. But you see, the one down south, I would be going 3 times a week sometimes. That is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Although I didn't go at all at the weekend. Up here, I can be going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's down south. I belong to the 46. Now, if I don't belong to the £46, if I was to pay every time I go, it would be like £10 a time, I think, which adds up. But it would actually be beneficial for me to join up to one particular swimming pool or gym type place up this end, and keep going to that same one rather than do the whole pay-as-you-go thing all the time, you know. That's how it is. Good morning. Where are we now? Let's just go there. Good morning to Michael Lawrence. Morning, Michael Lawrence, who says, I've missed a message. No message there from you at the top. There is no message from you there. Anyone else see Michael Lawrence's message? Don't worry too much if you don't get your messages out. Sometimes it just doesn't appear on the screen for some reason. I don't know why that is. You can always send it again, all right? Morning to Adam, who's had problems with his knees as well. He's got early stage arthritis. Haven't they got something new now? Haven't the medical people got something? Did I not see something on the news about arthritis? Or was that cancer? I saw something about cancer the other day on a news story, which was quite interesting. Yeah, they've got something else to fight that with. But I think, or it might have been my mate told me about that. Some new arthritis treatment. I'm not quite sure about that. He says, I've got early stage arthritis, but the white gloss has helped them tremendously. White gloss? But the white gloss has... what do you mean, the white gloss has helped them tremendously? I don't know what that means, mate. I don't know what that means. Anyway, Adrian, you should join up with Jim. Stop eating because it's expensive to do both. That might be an idea, mightn't it? Morning to Claire. Good morning, Claire. Everyone's talking to each other, which is good. Lovely karaoke last Friday. Mum had a great time. Yes, Claire wasn't at the karaoke this week. She brought her mum along on Friday night, and we had a good time there, didn't we? Good. I didn't do an awful lot yesterday, actually. Up here today, as I say, I want to go swimming when I finish the show today. So we must try and stick to 45 minutes. Half an hour, 45 minutes. These shows are getting far too long. Half hour, 45 minutes. And my sister rang me yesterday and she says someone's put a keyboard, like a piano keyboard type thing, in one of the charity shops up here, which is near my sister. So I want to go and have a look at that later. I'm after a small, cheap, I say small, not like that. It's got to be a decent, a proper sized keyboard. Otherwise, it's useless to me. Just so that I can, if I'm playing the organ at church, so I can practice up here. I need to have a headphone socket as well, because caravans are not particularly known for their sound insulation. I don't want to disturb the neighbours or anything. So I want to have a headphone socket, and so I'll be able to practice up here, you see. And that'd be much better. And if there's something going in the charity shop for like 30 or 40 quid, maybe 50, if it's a decent one, then I'll pay that and bring it here. But I've been keeping an eye on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. But the trouble is with larger items, people don't want to send them. You know, they want you to go and collect them. And if it's anything more than sort of 5 or 6 miles out, you think, oh, usually the one that you want is like 200 mile away. And by the time you've paid for the petrol or the train fare to go there and back, you might as well have just ordered a new one of Amazon. But these keyboards and proper size, I don't mean the little kiddie ones, not the little children ones that you buy in Argos and places like that. A decent size. I mean, the one that I would like, probably brand new, would be about £700 or £800. Not for a caravan, no, because you don't get. And the other thing as well as sound insulation, it might be a bit damp in here, a little bit cold, extremes of temperature in a caravan or something as well. Let me tell you, you don't get those in a house. I mean, really, when the sun is really loud, really powerful out, the whole caravan heats up substantially. And similarly, when it's cold, if you haven't got a heater on, it gets freezing cold in here. I'm sure the food freezes in the tins. Morning to Michael Pullman. Good morning to you. Roy, go swimming in the river behind you. No, there might be undercurrents there. Drag me under and I shall drown. Awful. So that's what I'm doing today. Yesterday, I didn't do much yesterday at all. I took some more cuttings from rhododendrons. It's all right, Claire. They weren't stolen from anyone else. I've got some rhododendrons growing in the garden, and I took the bit that's growing, so not the flower, so if you've got like dark green leaves and very light green leaves growing, that bit there, I cut that there and just put it in earth. And see how they go. I haven't taken cuttings from rhododendrons. I did last week, and I put those in earth, and they're not dead. They look like they're growing, so fingers crossed. Someone said to me it was quite difficult to do rhododendrons, but we'll see how that goes. And it's a lot cheaper, of course, if you can get cuttings. I mean, it's free plants, isn't it? I told you last week I went to a garden centre, they wanted £25 for one rhododendron. Too dear. Too expensive. Shania, have you listened to the Gloria yet? No, I haven't. Thank you for reminding me, Shania. I'll listen to that in the car on the way to the swimming pool. Good point. Thank you very much. Morning to Graham. I'll be back next week for karaoke. About time, Graham. It's been a while, hasn't it? 1 minute you're there, then you're not, honestly. He's very popular there, aren't you? He's very, very popular, Graham, when he's on that stage singing away. Adam's got a Yamaha keyboard. Oh, 88 keys, very heavy, fully weighted. I'll tell you what, Adam, can you send me a photograph of it? Can you tell me how many voices? Would it have an organ on there? Has it got a churchy type organ on there? Or is it just piano? That sounds, because it's Yamaha would be my preferred manufacturer. That's what I've got at home. I've got a lovely Clarinova piano that I bought in the year 2000. I bought that with my wages from my gig, 1999 to 2000, because we all played far too much money that night. It's the only night ever in my entire career of DJing and karaoke that I got a huge amount of money. And I bought a piano with it, and it's still going. So if it's what I think it is, I could look that up. You've given me the code there, haven't you? the code there. I'll have a look. Yeah, could you send us a picture? Doesn't matter if it's a bit grubby or damaged at the side, as long as it plays all right. I'm not bothered. Not if there's like, you know, it's like, oh, by the way, one of the notes doesn't work. No, that's no good. That's no good then. All right. Thanks, Adam. I'll have a look at that for you. I'll have a look at that. Now, Adam's talking about weight loss here a moment ago. So that must be my... Let me read this again. I had problems with my knees and I had early stage arthritis in them, but the weight loss. Oh, I see. Weight loss. White gloss should have been weight loss. Predictive texting. Don't we hate it? Please check your messages before you send them through. Weight loss has helped tremendously. Did you know losing, I think it's 4 pounds, takes 10 pounds of pressure off the knees? Also got sciatica now. Oh, that's awful. I know a lot of people. I had it cut twice. Sciatica, and I had it in the calves of my legs, like here. Can you see that there? I had sciatica there. In Australia, that's the first place I got it. Of course, I thought it was deep vein thrombosis. I was on this tiny island, Norfolk Island in Australia, and I had this constant throbbing in the bottom of the leg, and the only thing that would relieve it would be to stand on it, literally to stand up. Laying down, sitting down, oh, what a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. You can have sciatica in many different places, you know, sort of from the top of your arse right down to the bottom of your leg there. I had it in the calf. Where did you have it, Adam? Awful. He's got an MRI scan thing as well, so good luck with that there. Yeah, but I don't think they can always do anything about that sciatica. You literally got to put up with it. Awful, awful. Did you see rooting powder, Adrian wants to know, for your cuttings or your flowers? That will help keep them going. Yes, I haven't got any of that at the moment. I have used it before and it worked. I don't know if it was necessary or not, if you see what I mean. You know, as I say to you, Aid, at the moment I've put my plants, the little cuttings, in small pots. Well, I say small, you know, so big, about sort of smaller than the, you know, the tomato plant pots, smaller than those. I've put them in there, and I put 2 in over a week ago, and the leaves haven't drooped at all. So I know about rooting powder. I have used it before. The plant grew before. On the other hand, the plant is growing without it, so I don't know if it makes it any quicker or anything like that. Of course, you know, now I've put them in now, so I don't really want to pull them out and put them in the rooting powder and put them back in again. It might help, I don't know. Mike, my mate's got a keyboard for sale. Thought of you. Quite nice one, hardly used. Oh, it's in Portsmouth. How many keys is it? That's the other thing. That's the other thing. When you want to buy a keyboard, if you buy the sort of run-of-the-mill ones, that they tend to be a bit short. So, now, to explain this to non-music people, so if you've got the middle of the keyboard, then you've got another 16 notes that side, yeah? Right. If you've got a piano, you need more than that. So you need, I think, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, you need 24, I think it's 24. So Adam's, he's got an 88 key one, which I think is a full one. So that's really long. The shorter ones would be 60 something, I think it's like that, which is all well and good until you want to go down and there's no more notes. That being said, of course, the organ at church, I think, is only 60 odd notes. You know, you kind of adjust yourself to how many notes they are. I don't know how I do that, actually. You just know that you can't go any further, so you kind of come up a little bit like that. Thank you, Mike. Adrian, he's got his organs, very weighty, 9 digits and 1 careful owner, low mileage. Low mileage? Having a laugh, ain't you? Hello to Tony Power. Talked to him on the phone yesterday. Good morning, Tony. Thank you, Mike. He's going to ask him what the make and model is there. Morning to Paul and Lou. Good morning. A bit late this morning. Very, very late this morning indeed. And Weird City says you need at least 5 octaves, at least, yeah. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the full size ones. What's 88? What's 88 divided by 8? Someone do that, please. 88 divided by 8. What's that? Claire is impressed. Rhododendrons cuttings aren't easy. I literally just, what I do is I cut the thing, right? And then I damage the side of the stalk. Okay, so you've got the how can have I got something? Yeah, here we are. Okay, so say that's the cutting, right? So leaves up here, and then that bit's going in the gun. What I do is with a sharp knife, then scrape. I damage the side of the stalk, which I've seen people do on YouTube, and then I put it in. Not so much that it goes all mushy. You want to damage the side of that stalk and then put it in the earth, and then make sure that earth remains damp. If it dries out, it's dead. That's it. You've got to make sure that earth remains sort of damp. Or give it a really good water. When you first do it, if the earth is completely dry, when you first do a cutting, get your earth in the pot and then water it first. And then water it again. And again. And then put your plant in. Get some more earth. And then when you water it, the earth will probably go down. Put a little bit more earth back in and water it. Make sure it's absolutely soaking wet when you do cuttings like that. That is my advice to you, Claire. I am the Percy Thrower of YouTube, aren't I? I am the Percy Thrower. Claire says, my garden is a mess at the moment. My partner is planting 5 new trees and the soil from the massive holes he dug is all over the grass. Oh, dear, dear me. Haven't you got a rake? You need a rake. Or one of those awful blowing machines. Have you seen those blowing machines that make all that noise? It does make me laugh. You see people who work at councils and that, and they bring out these leaf blowing machines when it's very windy, and the noise. Oh my Lord, the noise! And then a gust of wind comes along and blows them all back again. What is the point of that? It's outrageous. It really is. Anyway, so that's that. Tony suffers from, what was it called again? I forgot what that's called again. Hang on a minute, let's go back again. I've completely forgotten what that's called then, Tony. I'm losing the plot here, I'm sure I am. I got the date wrong this morning. Hang on, what is it? Not arthritis. What did I say? Sciatica. That's it, sciatica. Tony suffers from sciatica. In fact, I'm seeing my GP tomorrow to see what support I can get. There's not a great deal you can do about sciatica. No, it's a trapped nerve, isn't it? Or something like a trapped nerve. You don't want to be taking painkillers if you can help it. No, I don't. On the occasions I've been to the doctors and I have some painkillers. No, it's okay. I don't want them. I tend to put up with it. You do see a lot of people, they get I got a headache, I'll take a pill. And you see, I don't think that's the answer, because there might be I think your body gets used to this stuff, you know? And there might be a day where you really need some pain relief. And if you've already been taking pills for years and years, you know, for minor things like, oh my finger hurts, or I've got a bit of a headache. If you've already been taking the pills and then you get some sort of, I don't know, something wrong with you, an operation perhaps or something like that, where you really need pain relief, then they have to give you more. And I think I'm not a medical type person, but I do believe the less drugs that you can have to sort something out, the better. I do believe that. Claire says it's an enormous mound of earth. It has to go back in the holes, plus compost and grit when he plants them. It's taking forever. Now he's been using a pile driver as the soil is so hard. I don't even know what that is. What's a pile driver? Oh, is that something you use on your bottom when it falls out? Can you get them for humans as well? Weird City. Deep heat is supposed to be good. Yes, I've got a tube of that actually. The lovely Maureen bought me a tube of some similar deep heat type stuff. I think it had paracetamol in it. And I'm okay with that. If I've got a pain, I'll rub it on, you know, like a muscle pain. You put that on there. It's not instant, about 20 minutes, half an hour, and it really makes a difference. As you know, now and again, I get a bad back. I'll be doing something and suddenly there'll be this spasm and it's like it for days after. It was awful. It's happened about 3 times now. But last time I came in, I mentioned it on the show actually, and I came into the pub and sort of bent over like that, and Maureen arrived. And she always brings presents for people, but usually in the items of bars of chocolate and things like that. And Maureen came in, and it's actually here, I've got it here, and she brought in me this tube of stuff. She put some of that on it. So I did. And after about, I would say about 20 minutes, half an hour, it really made an improvement. I could almost stand up straight again. So very, very good stuff. You're quite right there, Weird City. Deep heat is good stuff. Joseph said the body needs to self-repair itself. Yes, I said to you, cycling seems to cause my knees problems. one of my neighbours back down in Bracknell, Phil, he's a lovely bloke. He's got a family, an older, I say older family. He's got boys now in their sort of early to mid-20s now, and he's one of those people that fixes everyone's cars. He's such a nice man, he really is. And he recently bought an electric bike. It doesn't, I mean, it can if you want it to, but it doesn't propel you along without you doing anything at all, but it assists you. You know, it assists you, certainly up hills and that, because that's what my knee hurts when I push. I can be cycling along and suddenly, oh, ow. And then you know you've got to take the pressure off it. Now, fortunately, my other knee is perfectly all right. But then that's doing all the work. I'm sort of pedaling with one knee and the other one's kind of just going around on its own. Well, he bought an electric bike and he said he had problems with his knees and he says it's fantastic. Now, he still pedals along, but he's not got to push down so much on the pedals. It has got a switch on it, and if you flick the switch, it will just go on its own. You haven't got to do anything at all. But certainly, I can be pedalling on. If it's a flat surface, I'm probably all right. Certainly up here in Lincolnshire, we don't have many hills here. It's very, very flat, Lincolnshire. It's fantastic. I mean, you can see so much of the sky here. It's beautiful where I am, sort of overlooking the field. So you're okay here. The knee problem kind of starts if you're putting a lot of pressure on, maybe going up a hill or something like that, you know, and even if it's a steep hill and you're in first gear on that bike and you've still got a pedal, you know, something to get up it, and then it goes, oh, the pain. So perhaps that's the way to go. Electric bikes, yeah. But you don't want to buy a cheap one. You mustn't buy a cheap electric bike. You can get them for like 200 or 300 quid, but I gather from more professional cycling type people that if you buy one of those, the likelihood is water will get into the motor at some point. You've got to spend 900 over £1,000 on an electric bike if you want a decent one. You really have. On the other hand, if they are like normal bikes last for years. I mean, I tend to have my bikes 10, 15, 20 years. I think the last one I had about 15 years. The worst one I bought from Argos. I bought a bike from Argos once. I had it about a year and a half. I kid you not. And it was really cheap. I think it was 99 quid. 99 quid, this bike from Argos. And I was cycling along and suddenly there's a click. And the bike was gone. I'm like, what's that? Was that a flat tyre? Anyway, I stopped and I got off. The frame had broken. The frame where it was welded had actually come apart. So I never bought another cheap bike after that. Dreadful. Joseph says most people sneeze and take tablets for that. Yeah, they do. The hay fever things. It depends how bad the hay fever or not just hay fever, if you're allergic to something. Now, if I'm going to my sister's house, okay, then I try and take one of those little what is it called? Antihistamine tablet. I will always try and take one of those if I'm going to my sister's 45 minutes to an hour before I actually get there, because she's got dogs and cats, and really I have a terrible time there, to the point of having to actually leave the house because the breathing, it's like everything's closing up. It's dreadful. I do get a bit of a warning. It starts off with sneezing. I mean, I start sneezing in there. Now, if I was to leave at that point, I'd probably be all right, but I don't. I put up with it and I sneeze, and I've got that, out comes the asthma thing, and you're having more and more of it, and it's getting worse and worse, and the only thing I can do is leave. If I have one of those tablets before I go, generally it's a lot better. It doesn't work so much. But I really don't go along, you know, if you've got something minor happening, a little headache or something like that, taking a pill, I think that's the wrong thing to do. I really do. But each and every one to themselves, aren't you? Do you remember the grasshoppers, Chris? Big orange balls. Yes, I do. Do you remember those? The hoppers, big orange hoppers with it. You used to hold the ears and bounce around on them. What, have you bought one of those now? What have you got one of those for then? You mad fool. Ronnie came over yesterday afternoon. We watched Pose again. I love that programme on the BBC iPlayer. Pose. please, please watch that. There's about, I think there's 8 or 9 programmes altogether. And we watched the final one all over again. There is a new series of Pose, which is coming out in America, I believe, next month on CBS All Access. So if you're in the States, you'll be able to see that over there. I think it's on CBS All Access. I don't think we're going to get that here until next year. At the moment, I think it's still on at the moment. Series 1 is on BBC Two Colour on Sunday nights, or you can watch the whole series on the BBC iPlayer, which is what me and my mate done. But I watched it again yesterday, the last one. It's fantastic. Pose on the BBC Two. Okay. I say I had the karaoke was nice last night. We had a nice time. Funny enough, I was helping out a talent show on Sunday night at the same place, and I've got to say the quality of the karaoke singers last night was much better than those in the talent show on Sunday. I'm sorry, I said it. You know, I can only speak as I find here. I'm not going to lie to you or anything like that. And then I came up here, nice trip up here last night. The A1 right open right the way through. I left Central Station, which is where I do the karaoke, ran about 8 minutes past 11, and I walked in here at about 1:45. You know, 65 mile an hour. Now and again I went to 70, but there's no need to rush, really. When you've got an open road like that, not tearing along, not like these people on the M4 on a Saturday night. Dreadful, dreadful. Pose is awesome. I'm glad you like it, Joseph, as well. Isn't it a great programme? I absolutely love it. Tony, wear and tear, Chris, happens to a lot of people. That's what's happening, isn't it? It's all wear and tear on us people who are a little bit older. It can happen because of a rubbing spinal disc. Is this the sciatica thing? Do exercise, light exercises. I mean, I do this in the car. I kind of do this, you know, sometimes when I'm at lights or something like that, kind of stretching, because it's the little soft bit where I have problems in my back. You know, so if you put your hand where your spine is and move sort of about an inch or two to the right, you know that soft bit there, that seems to get bigger as you get fatter. That's the bit where I get the pain, so it must be some sort of muscle in there. Good morning to Russ. Bank holiday weekend. Yeah, fantastic, thanks. It was quiet, didn't do anything in particular. Had a nice time. Let's just see if we're missing anyone out there. Mike Risponto. Ask him the make and model. Thank you very much, Mike. I haven't missed anyone out there, have we? Good. Excellent. Now, look at this. And now this would be me. This would be... Oh, Craig Williams, Pose Season 1 available on Amazon. Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. Will Season 2 be on Amazon Prime, Craig? Do you know? Well, is that going to be on Amazon Prime? See, I don't have that. I don't have that one. My mate's other half, he has got that. So I think I'm going to have to go to his house and watch that. I don't want to be signing up to so many stuff. You know what I mean? You can, when you look at your bank statement, a monthly bills going out, a subscription to this, subscription to that, this, that and the other. I don't want all that. I mean, I've got a mobile phone subscription, a broadband for down here, a 4G broadband for here. I've got Virgin broadband for up there. I've got Netflix. Oh, hang on, Netflix. I've got a gym membership, and all this stuff adds up, you know. It's all very well. Oh, it's only another tenner, and then next month you'll see something else that's a tenner, and then a month afterwards something else for a fiver. Well, that's 25 quid gone. I'm very, very funny with signing up for things, and I've got Netflix. Star Trek, of course, Star Trek Picard. That's going to be on Amazon Prime, isn't it? And I don't have that. Fortunately, my mate's got... Oh, he's got everything. He has. He's got Sky. He's got Netflix. He's got Amazon Prime. He signs up to them all. Doesn't bother him. Just pay it. Not bothered. I'm so tight. It's unbelievable. It really is. Craig says he can only see Season 1. Yeah, no, it's not out yet, Craig. The Season 2 is about to start, I think, in June on CBS Access or something like that it's called. Just type it into Google, it'll tell you where it is. But certainly, as well as that, I do like Star Trek. Star Trek, the most recent series was Discovery. Star Trek Discovery. That was on Netflix. So they've been talking about this new Star Trek series with Captain Jean-Luc Picard in his own series. Okay, well, we all expected that to pop up on Netflix, same place as the other one. No, Amazon Prime, which is a bit of a worry. But as I say, my mate's got it, so I guess I'll have to go over there and watch it there. Tim says that's because you've always been tight. How dare you? It's my cousin there, Tim. Isn't it all right, isn't it? Tim, not as tight as your sister, mate. Oh dear, as you well know. How is Helen? I never hear from her. I gave up ringing her because the calls never come my way. She would have never ever ring me. She never rings me, and I've spent years ringing her, so I don't bother anymore. I'm waiting for the calls to come back the other way now. She's got to ring me now for 10 years, and then I'll start ringing her again. Good old Ellen. Tony says, I still can't get over the dreadful performance of Madonna at the Eurovision. Well, I mean, it's just how it is, isn't it? I mean, she's not the only one who can't sing. I'm sorry. One of my mates, who's a remixer, do not name him on here. Whatever you do, don't name him on there. He remixed one of... do I tell you this or not? No, I don't. I don't think I should. He remixed a very famous girl who was in a girl band. And the vocals were sent over to him. And he said there wasn't one single note that was in tune. And she's quite famous. Not a single note in tune. This is the thing, you see. You don't... You've got to get on the side of the producers or like someone like Simon Cowell. You don't need to be able to sing. You know, all the old school, you know, Tina Turner, Shirley Bassey, Barry Manilow, they can all sing proper. A lot of these people you see on, well, it's no Top of the Pops now, they've had their voice adjusted electronically so it's all in tune. Anyway, he received the vocals from this particular singer. There wasn't a single note that was in tune. He had to work so hard on it. It's just how it is now, you know. We don't need to sing. Do you remember Buck Rogers in the 25th century? Yeah, I didn't really watch that. I remember him. It didn't sort of interest me, that one, I'm afraid. All right. Now this could be me. I've got to read you this story. It's in the Daily Mirror this morning. A British man goes, I don't know about you, one of the worst things for me is driving or walking or going somewhere from A to B. I get lost. I am completely useless. I have absolutely no sense of direction at all. My dad was fantastic. We'd get in the car and in his head, he'd have a map, okay? But he'd looked at the map before he'd set off on a 100-mile journey. And in his head, he would have 3 or 4 different routes, all planned out in his head. That and the little list that you used to be able to write to the AA for directions and things like that. And before we had Google Maps and Waze and TomTom and all that, right? The AA, if you were a member of the AA, you used to be able to write to them in a letter, you know, with a pen. You write to them, hello, you know, I am travelling from Roehampton to Bracklesham Bay. Please, could you send directions? And you know, some time would pass, and in the post, they would send you a little sort of notepad type thing. Honestly, this is true with directions. Leave Roehampton on the A3. Join the A3 at so and so, 2.7 miles. Come off the A3 at 10.7 miles, and it would be all like that, and you just follow the instructions. Yes, if you're of an age, you will know about this. Now we've got the Google Maps. You just type something and off you go. I can't do it. I can't find my way from A to B. Don't ask me to use a compass. Oh my God, no. Years ago, when I was, I think, 20 or 21, I lost an entire group of Cub Scouts on Box Hill. I'm not joking. We didn't get back to the band until about 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, this story in the Daily Mirror, a British man travelling from his home in Newcastle to Rome ended up 1,000 miles away from his destination after blindly following his sat-nav. This would be me. He's 81. He hoped to see the Pope at the Vatican, but the sat-nav took him to the tiny rural community of Rom, R-O-M, in northwestern Germany. He forgot to put the E on the end. The pensioner, who is originally from Italy and now lives in England, decided to make the long pilgrimage to the Italian capital in his Jaguar. He's got a Jaguar. I must have some money. But mistakenly entered the details. After the navigation system insisted he had arrived safely, the lost and confused man climbed out of his vehicle, possibly to try and see some of the landmarks that should have been clearly visible, such as the Colosseum or the Sistine Chapel. I've seen all of those. Fantastic, fantastic. Highly recommended a holiday to Rome. But he forgot to put on the handbrake, it's claimed. As a result, his Jaguar rolled backwards and knocked down the sign for Rom, R-O-M, about 30 miles east of Cologne, resulting in the police being called to investigate. Police spokesman said the man was on a pilgrimage. He was on his way to Rome, where he was hoping to visit the Pope. She added that the man, who has not been named, realised something was wrong when he couldn't see any of the landmarks he was expecting. The driver might have been confused by the fact that Rome is written Roma, R-O-M-A in Italian, and Rome, R-O-M in German. So he's put in the wrong thing, you see. The car had come to a halt after hitting the sign, but did not appear to be seriously damaged. Now, what about you? Can you find your way to A to B, or do you rely on some sort of device or someone else sitting next to you in the car? And that's the other thing, isn't it? Having someone sitting next to you in the car trying to read a map. Oh God. I mean, maps. I like maps. To me they look like pictures. You see a lovely map. I could quite happily have maps in frames as pictures. But I can't work them out. Yeah, you kind of look like that, and then you move around a bit like that, don't you? Then you move around a bit like that. Well, which way is this? And then you're travelling along that way, but in my head, I'm going backwards. You know, it's got to be pointing the right way for me to understand where I'm going. And then if you've been in a Scout, you're supposed to have been taught to use a compass on a map. So you put this map out and you've got the compass like that. You move it around until the compass points north. But I just can't do it. It's just gobbledygook to me. Might as well be written in Chinese. In fact, probably if it's written in Chinese, I might understand it. What about you? Can you suss that one out? Eh? I don't know. Weird City says, I wonder if they still do that. I may snail mail them asking for directions. Yeah, try it. If you remember the AA or something, you could try that. Do you still do directions, AA? Now, anyone remember that? Sending off for those directions. It was very good. Weird City says, turn the map around. Well, I do. I do turn it around and I still can't find out where the hell anything is. You're kind of looking for things, you know. Oh, hang on. There's a telephone box on that map. You're looking for this telephone box. And it's there, but on the map it says it's behind you. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Joseph remembers that. Good morning to John Aitken. Good morning, John. Just back from the gym. He's had a terrible cramp in his leg. Very embarrassing. I nearly fell off the treadmill. I left after only 30 minutes. Once you've got the pain, that's it. Stop. Stop. That's a big mistake people make. They get some sort of pain somewhere and they carry on. I did it myself when I had the pains in my knees. Awful. Awful. Tony says, plumbers have a problem with my toilet tank. I hear a whistling noise every time I flush the toilet. Sounds like something wrong with the flushing mechanism. Is that right? Either that or you've got a bird stuck in the tank possibly or something like that. Madness. Shall we do another story? How are you with breakfast? How many of you eat pizza for breakfast if you've been out the night before? I mean, I don't do it anymore. I did do it in my younger days. Yeah, you come home, put a pizza in the microwave or something. A microwave pizza. I mean, honestly. I mean, it's just vile and it's ghastly. You're going to do a pizza in an oven, but when you're a little bit drunk, perhaps, had a couple of drinks or something, I'll just get home. I used to do bacon sandwiches in the microwave in my 20s. Awful. And it never cooked, but you didn't go crispy or anything like that, did it? Awful. Well, there's a Benidorm bar, a bar in Benidorm in Spain. I went for my honeymoon. I know I've been married once. We went for a honeymoon in Benidorm. It was all right. It's all right then. We stayed at the Hotel L'Orange. And for some reason, in foreign countries, they put the word hotel before the name of the hotel. Whereas here in the UK, the word hotel comes after the name. For example, Savoy Hotel, Langham Hotel, Claridge's Hotel. Yeah? When you're abroad, it's Le Hotel Orange, Le Hotel I don't know, apple, hotel, mountain. Isn't that funny? You notice that? When you go abroad, the word hotel is before the name of the hotel. Here in the UK, the name of the hotel is after the word hotel. Why is that? Isn't that strange and mysterious? Anyway, so this Benidorm bar, picking what you have when you're out for lunch can be hard, especially if you're a bit hungover. But a bar in Benidorm is offering its customers a real treat by combining two of our favourites. Now, you've got to tell me whether or not you'd eat this. Okay, Joseph is not far from Benidorm. All right, okay. I've got a friend in Benidorm who runs a kitchen there in one of the hotels. Lovely bloke he is. His name's George. He used to turn up at my karaoke at Belushi's, one of my favourite jobs of all time at London Bridge Belushi's, which was great. Absolutely great there. A bar in Benidorm is offering its customers a real treat by combining two of our favourites. Good Times Bar and Grill is now selling a pizza topped with a whole fry-up, including 2 eggs, beans, bacon and sausages. The new menu edition contains about 2,600 calories in one meal, which is the same as 5 McDonald's Big Macs. Staff shared a photo of the English breakfast pizza on their Facebook page, and it's received mixed reaction, reports The Sun. Some thought the idea was great and wanted to try one. One wrote, perfect for coming home in the early hours when you can't decide whether it's supper or breakfast time. But others weren't impressed, claiming the pizza looked rank and so wrong. And I've got to say, I'm looking at it, no, imagine a pizza, just a cheese and tomato pizza, okay, of a size, you know, one of the larger ones, and on top of that they've used the pizza as a plate. So on top of that pizza, 2 sausages, some tomatoes, baked beans in the middle, there's bacon, and it just looks absolutely vile. I mean, it really does. It doesn't look nice. It says it's hardly surprising that pizza has caused a debate as people can get very, very protective over their fry-ups. Well, here's another question for you. Okay, pizza, ready? Pizza. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? For you, pineapple on pizza, is that a yes or a no? What do you think? But I mean, it just looks awful. This looks awful. It says, one bloke says, I genuinely feel ill looking at the eggs. And they just look awful. Another replied, I trust there were arrests made after this abomination. Would you have one of those? John says, pineapple is disgusting. You see, I like pineapple on pizza. I really do. Pineapple on pizza. I don't know about other... Orange on pizza, would that work? I don't know. I can't have grapefruit, unfortunately. The pills I'm on means I'm not supposed to have grapefruit, but grapefruit on pizza, would that work? I don't know. Or apple on pizza. Any other fruit on pizza? I like pineapple. I love pineapple on pizza. Michael does. Look, Michael Pullman loves pineapple on pizza. When I was on holiday in Cyprus, we were on the marina in Limassol, which is just a lovely place. But we wouldn't be able to afford to live there. They've got really expensive houses there. Lovely, lovely place. And we were in a bar type place there one afternoon, and I ordered a pizza, and she said, "What toppings?" I said, "Can I have pineapple?" She's right, pineapple. So, what toppings would you like? So, pineapple, please. Pineapple? Yes, please. Oh, have you got pineapple? Yeah, on a pizza? Yes, please. Yeah. Oh, okay. And it came out with lovely, lovely. Lovely. Pineapple on pizza. Weird City loves pineapple on gammon, but not on pizza. So some of you yes, some of you no there. Adrian, yes, pineapple on pizza. Absolutely. Joseph says, give me a banana any day. On the subject of maps, Adrian says, I'm not very good at map reading, but when I went to a club for the first time, I couldn't find where it was on the map, so I just kept an eye out for people. I just followed them and I found it. Sure, did you follow the strange-looking people? John's had kebabs and pizza for breakfast when I used to drink. Yeah, I mean, we've all done that, haven't we? We've all done that. Joseph said, mine's a kebab from the night before. On my heaven days. Yeah. Absolutely. And Michael loves the pineapple on the pizza as well. Oh, yeah, I like pineapple. Mike likes a 4-cheese pizza. Yeah, but that's cheating a little bit, that is, Mike. Cheese on pizza is like normal, isn't it? No, you're something unusual, perhaps. Would you have something unusual, perhaps, on a pizza? Anyone put anything on a pizza that perhaps you wouldn't buy in a shop? I don't know what that could be. Banana, as Joseph suggests there, something like that. Definitely, Michael. There we are, Michael Lawrence, pineapple on pizza, lovely, very nice. Craig Williams, if you like it, it's fine. Pineapple, I think it's vile. I put soy sauce on pizza. Soy sauce. Yeah, my mate puts soy sauce in his baked beans. If he's making baked beans, he puts soy sauce in that, and the the dark stuff. I think you get a little sachet of soy sauce in pot noodles, don't you? I bought a pot noodle from Aldi the other day, exactly the same and about half the price. Have you had one of those pot noodles in Aldi? And don't forget, gang, we mentioned this yesterday. Highly recommended. Something that it was actually Mike Rees-Ponto that suggested to me I try the vegan sausage rolls in Aldi. You'll find them in the frozen section with they have a very, very limited vegetarian range in Aldi, but there is some stuff in there. Recently they've added vegan sausage rolls. They come 4 in a box, £1.75. Put them in the oven. They are delicious, as Mike will tell you as well. I had 3 the other day. I didn't mean to have 3. But my mate came round and he always leaves food on his plate, and I gave him 2 and I had 2 and he left 1, so I had it on my plate, and they were absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Vegan, and you don't need to be vegan to try them. Just go out and buy yourself a box of those. £1.75 from Aldi, 4 in a box, and they are on a par with the Greggs ones. If you haven't even tried a Greggs one yet, please go to Greggs and try a vegan sausage roll. They are delicious. Absolutely delicious. Good morning to Joey and his dad. They're watching on the telly this morning, on a big telly this morning. Let's have a look. Joanna, there you go. Joanna, pineapple is awesome on pizza as well. Well, there we go, Joanna. If we ever meet up, darling, it's going to be in a pizza place and we'll have pizza with pineapple on it. Oh, Adrian, fig on pizza. Figs. Now, I'm not a fan. My mum used to love those fig roll biscuits. Oh my God, she could eat a whole packet of those. And then they come, don't figs come in like a cardboard thing? Like a long cardboard thing they come, don't they? Where do they come from, figs? Aren't they something to do with plums? I used to open this box and get these figs out and sit there and eating them, watching Saturday night telly. Not my sort of thing at all, I'm afraid, figs. Figs on pizza. Well, that is unusual. Figs on pizza. All right, gang, let's do today's birthdays on this Tuesday, the 28th of May, 2019. Only 2 birthdays today. We've got Anthony. Oh, it's Anthony Antboy Burbridge, who's a massive fan of the Spice Girls. He came along to the karaoke last Friday and he had a little outfit in him, like a spaceman outfit. Anthony, and there is a few people like this, Ray Reynolds as well. Anthony doesn't just come up and sing a song in front of a microphone. He gives you a performance. And he's damn good. He throws himself into it and he's fantastic. Happy birthday to Anthony Antboy Burbridge. I don't think I've known him that long, actually. He's been coming to the karaoke only recently. And I'm so glad you come along because you do bring a bit of sparkle to the night. All right, happy birthday, Anthony. And Coral Deville. Good morning, Coral. Long time no see. Happy birthday to you as well, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, gang. And John says Kylie Minogue is 51 years old today. Is she really? Good God. Where do those years go? Anyway, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. I'm going to get down to the swimming pool. Oh, it's 11:15. You see, it's late now. It's really late now to go swimming, and I'm tempted not. No, I must go. I must go swimming. I think I'll do the summary on the show later on when I come back and do my dinner and that. Yeah, I'll go swimming now. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show on this Tuesday morning. Hopefully, I'll see you again at some point tomorrow morning. Take care and have a nice day. Bye-bye now.